My dear brothers and sisters, never ever, my dear friends, underestimate the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes we think that our problems are too big, or our du'as are not being answered, or that what we are asking for is impossible. But subhanallah, Allah is beyond limits. He can do things in ways that are beyond our understanding. I want to share with you a story that was told by a great scholar in Saudi Arabia. This story is a beautiful reminder of how Allah's mercy and power work in ways that we can never imagine. There was a doctor, one of the top neurologists in Pakistan, someone very difficult to meet. You might even have to wait months just to get an appointment with him. Subhanallah. Imagine the level of his expertise and how busy he was. One day, this doctor was traveling from one city to another. He flew often, moving from one place to another, even outside the country sometimes. But on this particular day, something extraordinary happened. As he was flying, the clouds started to gather. They grew dark and heavy. Lightning began striking around the plane. The rain poured heavily, and there was a lot of turbulence. Subhanallah. Even the engines were struck and damaged. The pilot had no choice but to land immediately. They landed at a small, remote airstrip, a place where no one was expecting them. It was far from the city, far from the facilities needed to repair the plane. The passengers were surprised and worried because it seemed that they would have to wait a long time before continuing their journey. The doctor spoke to the pilot and asked, "How long will this take?" The pilot replied, "It could be quite some time." Subhanallah. At this moment, the doctor remembered an area he needed to reach, a place that was just a 3-hour drive by road. So he decided, with the pilot's permission, to continue the journey by land instead of waiting for the plane to be fixed. He started his journey, but the weather continued to challenge him. The rain poured, the clouds rumbled, and the roads became muddy. The vehicle could barely move. After some time, he realized that they were not going to reach their destination anytime soon. Subhanallah. This is where the story becomes truly beautiful. As they looked around, they saw a small house nearby. They decided to knock on the door, hoping to find shelter and to pray their salah. An elderly lady opened the door. She welcomed them warmly, offering them a place to pray and a small meal. Subhanallah. Notice how even in the most remote places, Allah arranges kindness for His servants. While they were there, the doctor noticed a small child. He was curious and asked the grandmother about the child's condition. She shared that the child was an orphan and very sick. They had tried many doctors, but nothing seemed to help. Subhanallah, she said there was only one specialist who could help the child, but making an appointment was almost impossible. They had been told to wait 6 months for an appointment, and the specialist was far away. She had been praying to Allah every single day, asking Him to make a way. Then the grandmother told him the name of the specialist. Subhanallah. The doctor was that very specialist. He immediately realized that this was a moment of divine intervention. Tears filled his eyes as he understood that Allah had guided him to the door of the child who needed his help the most. The storms, the rain, the difficulties in travel, they were all part of Allah's plan. Every obstacle had been removed at the right moment to fulfill the dua of a mother, a grandmother, and a believer who never stopped calling upon Allah. The doctor shared that he cried when he realized the magnitude of what had happened. He cried because he saw the power of Allah manifested in such a beautiful, tangible way. Subhanallah, my dear friends, how often do we forget that Allah is capable of moving the hearts, guiding our steps, and arranging the events of this world in ways that we cannot even imagine. This story teaches us something very important. Each and every one of us has needs. Each and every one of us makes dua. And even when it seems impossible, even when we are waiting for months or years, Allah can answer in ways that are far beyond what we expect. Sometimes the answer comes immediately. Sometimes it comes through means that we never imagined. But subhanallah, it comes in the perfect way and at the perfect time. We should never lose hope in Allah's mercy. We should never stop making dua. We should always have conviction in our hearts that if something is meant for us, it will find its way to us. And remember, my dear brothers and sisters, it is not always by our own efforts alone, but sometimes by the mercy and power of Allah that our needs are fulfilled. The storms, the difficulties, the trials we face, they are not obstacles. Sometimes they are the very means through which Allah opens doors for us. Sometimes what we perceive as setbacks are actually the steps leading to our ultimate success and relief. Subhanallah, reflect on this deeply. When we face hardship, when we feel stuck, when we feel as if our du'as are not being answered, we must remember this story. Keep calling upon Allah. Keep praying. Keep having faith. Keep striving in the way that is permissible and good, and trust that Allah's plan is always better than ours. Imagine the joy of that child. Imagine the relief of the grandmother, and imagine the gratitude of the doctor, all in that one moment. This is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He uses His power in ways that are beyond imagination. He answers the prayers of His servants in ways that fill our hearts with awe, humility and gratitude. So, my dear brothers and sisters, never underestimate Allah. Never underestimate the power of dua. Never underestimate the way Allah can arrange even the smallest details in your life to answer your prayers. Even if it seems impossible, even if it seems distant, keep your heart connected to Allah. Keep calling upon Him, keep trusting Him, and know that nothing is impossible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah bless us, guide us, and open doors for us in ways that we cannot imagine. May He grant us ease in our difficulties, shifa for the sick, and steadfastness in our faith. And may He remind us always that for Him, nothing is impossible. Subhanallah, what a beautiful, powerful, and humbling reminder for all of us. Always remember, no matter how dark the storm, how heavy the rain, or how difficult the path, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you. He is arranging every detail of your life, even those you cannot see. Keep your faith strong, keep your heart soft, and never stop making dua. Subhanallah, reflect on the story, share it with others, and remind yourself daily, if you have sincere faith and make sincere dua, Allah can move mountains, guide hearts, and open doors in ways you never imagined. May Allah grant us all the ability to trust Him completely, to rely on Him entirely, and to call upon Him in every moment. And may He bless us with a heart that never loses hope, a soul that never stops praying, and a life that is filled with barakah in every step we take.